tip, freeze it flat. So if you haven't got a small freezer, freeze it in a bag flat.
Well, this shows you. This shows you the life that I used to lead. Because I've basically just got frozen cranberries and lime for gin. Here at the Gut Stuff, we're partnering with BioGaia to bring you Weaning with Guts. And Weaning Week's theme this year is Wean Wise, Gut Thrive. Is your gut thriving? Is it thriving? So, here at the Gut Stuff, we've pretty much got adult gut health on lockdown. But when it comes to kids, I literally didn't have a clue. So we've partnered with BioGaia to follow Bear's weaning journey with Lucy. Hi. Who's a children's dietitian to keep us on the right side of the tracks to follow Bear's journey for Weaning Week. Wish us luck. Everyone leads busy lives.
Yeah.
It can be overwhelming when you've got to cook for you, feed you, make sure you go to the toilet, make sure they go to the toilet. It's a lot.
Yes.
Is there any tips if you're cooking for family or for yourself?
Yeah.
How can you adapt what you're eating to the baby?
I'm very pro this because no one has time and you don't want to cook 5 times a day.
Yeah.
So, easy adaptations. If you are cooking something your baby can have, I've used bolognese a lot. Maybe I should move on from bolognese. Let's say you're making something else. Let's say you're making risotto. Yeah. Whatever. That's quite lengthy to fair. Simple things. Change to a low salt stock cube and just add some extra salt for you guys.
Yeah, okay, good shout.
Because in most of those sorts of recipes, little one can have everything. He can have the rice, he can have the vegetables, low salt stock, he can add, cream cheese or whatever it might be. So that way, even if you're making that in the evening and he's already in bed, you can save some for the next lunchtime.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
You can freeze. So yeah, I cook once, eat twice, or thrice, or fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth time in a week. And like we said earlier, you can change things up. So if you're like, oh my God, I feel really guilty because here I am with my mince again, add some different herbs and spices, chuck in a tin of lentils, serve it with something different, and there's your variety. They're not going to remember what they had 2 days ago.
No. Yeah.
So if you can, and you're preparing food anyway, double it, triple it up.
Okay.
Freeze it, change it. Great. And if you're going to, there might be times when it's at lunchtime at a weekend and you sit and you eat together. Yeah. And you can all just have the same thing. So, in an ideal world, that's always a good thing to do. Yeah. It's not always easy and it's often on the go. Yeah, and everyone always says to me, what about when I'm out and about? Is a pouch a bad idea? Pouch is bad.
Pouches, let's get into that. Pouches.
Delve into that beautiful coloured aisle.
Jars of cauliflower cheese.
Yeah. So in isolation, I always say, but I think there's far too much shaming, misinformation around all of this. It is difficult to compare them.
I'm just going to chop some fingers.
You chop some fingers. So pouches are absolutely fine to include as part of your baby's weaning diet now and again. There are some key things to look out for. The first is, unfortunately, it's not always easy to get all the information you need about what's in that pouch from the front of the pouch, right? Okay, from the package. So you'll look at it and you'll be like, this is a great choice there because it says broccoli, peas and pear. But you turn it over and it'll be like pear 80%. That is a sweet puree. That is a sweet meal. Yeah. And you need to just know that because it's not, I'm giving a bit of vegetable, I'm giving that taste, I'm giving, here's a portion of broccoli because it isn't a portion of broccoli. Yeah. So it's just being aware of, flip it over, have a look at the ingredients, what's actually in it. Yeah. You want to make sure from a texture perspective, lots of them, because they're processed, are really yogurt smooth, watery, which even if you were to blend up a pear to a puree now, it wouldn't be the same consistency. And that consistency of sort of...
Are you quite well?
So if you're out and about and you're like, actually, I could have that, or I could just... I've always got some sort of horrible piece of bruised fruit in my bag. So I'm like, I can probably do something with this on the go.
Yeah, or even what we're doing now. Yeah. Prepping the fingers.
Yeah, putting it in a little pot or a little bag or in the freezer. Yeah. I always have stuff that's frozen in the freezer if I know that I'm going to want something to feed her by middle of the day. Yeah. If I know it will defrost. Yeah. And it's not something high risk, a muffin of some kind. Yeah. I'll just take it out and let it defrost as the day goes by.
Yeah.
Literally thaw, and there we go. Here is your muffin, nicely defrosted, winning at life. Yeah. So they're not a hard no, but I think it's about being aware of what's in them. I think it's about being aware of the marketing claims on the front of packaging. You've got to be really careful. If I have my gut health hat on, I'm always going to say that something like that is not going to necessarily provide the same benefits, potentially the same fibre. Yeah. They can be really convenient, like when you're on holiday or you're out and about, and you're like, I haven't got time to make pasta sauce, but this is butternut squash and tomato. You can throw it into some cooked pasta. Things like that can actually be really, really helpful.
Yeah.
So you've got a lovely boiled egg there, and that is another classic example of, if you are doing one anyway,
boil a batch
and put them in the fridge, and then you've got something that you're like ready and easy to give in a matter of, well, seconds really. And those sorts of things can be honestly life-saving, because also you don't have to think too much when you open the fridge, and there's something quite easy you can throw together, and it doesn't have to be complicated. So if you were building a meal here, if you were to give him some egg, a portion of pear, like we might not eat egg and pear together, it really doesn't matter. You've got iron-rich, protein-rich food, you've got a fruit or veggie, and then you could give alongside a finger of toast, some cooked pasta. Even a high-fat food, so something like some avocado, and that's it. It's 3 simple things that haven't needed to come together into this curated, beautiful.
But I think that's where Instagram sets us up for failure, doesn't it?
It sets us up for failure, and and I see people take the advice about variety and dietary diversity very literally, and there will be 8, 9 different vegetables on a plate. Actually, for some babies, when they're learning to eat and become aware of mealtimes, quite overwhelming. Yeah, because actually, like, where do I start? There's a lot of food here. And one of the things that I say to parents all the time is, if you feel like you're struggling, they're not interested in everything, they're sort of faffing around, take everything off and just put one thing down on the tray to get them going and always get them warmed up, because we're the same. If you go out and your plate of food arrives and you're like, cheesy. Where am I going to start with this? Already I feel full. It's not that different really for them, and there's a lot of learning to do, because they may never have seen a finger of butternut squash before, ever had any egg before, and all these new experiences are overwhelming and hard work and learning as it is. So,
and it's not like we would go out for a tasting menu every night. I mean, we would if we could.
But, wouldn't we? Yeah, with the wine flake.
Yes, please.
Yes.